Hi everyone, welcome back to Inside the Dojang. I'm Leilani Dangadang, your host, and I'm here with Master Thalia.
Hey kings and queens.
We're excited to have you on today. We just got back from a competition yesterday, so late start today, a little sore. Riding that competition high. It's always really fun. But first, before we get into anything else, I do want you to introduce yourself, kind of talk about your martial arts journey, how old were you when you started, what got you into it, kind of that whole thing. And yeah, we'll just go from there.
Cool. Well, my name is Master Thalia. Follow me on Instagram at Master Thalia.
Yes.
Please follow. I actually started martial arts when I was in high school. So my friends and I wanted to go to the gym because we had the idea that, oh, let's get in shape for prom, classic high school
yeah,
stuff.
Absolutely.
But all of our parents worked, and all the gyms in the area, you had to have a parent supervision because we were 15 and 16.
Okay.
So I remember we were in biology class on the laptops at school, and like the school laptops looking up like different kinds of fitness classes that we could take.
Not doing class?
Well, we finished our work.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
AP student right now.
Let's go.
AP student. School comes first. However, when you were done with your work, we were looking up exercise classes, and I remember we found this, like we saw Taekwondo, we were like, what is that? And then we saw that it had a cardio kickboxing class. Okay. And we never did anything like that. I think I played soccer growing up and also figure skating, but I was a theater kid, so sports was not my
Soccer's pretty though, like, you need some coordination for soccer.
I was there for the tanning and picking the flowers from the grass. And I also was very aggressive, so I did sit on the bench a lot because of the cards. Okay. So lots of green, or not green cards, yellow and red cards from soccer. But I remember we saw this class at a Taekwondo studio that we could ride our bikes to.
Oh, okay.
So we were like, oh, we don't even need a ride. We can do this by ourselves. It was $10. We were like, okay, let's
$10?
$10 a class.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's go. So I remember we went there, and it was like some moms, like, because normally at a martial arts studio, a lot of the parents end up doing classes. Yeah. So it was a few moms, and then like a dad, and then it was a gaggle of teen girls, because it was 6 of us, and we showed up, and they were like, hi, what do you want to do? And we're like, can we do class? And they go, yeah. And then we started doing class. I think we went 3 times a week. Okay. And I rode my bike there. It was really fun. I felt really cool, like punching and kicking. And the cardio kickboxing class was after the sparring class, like the world class, Olympic sparring class. So we'd get there and we're waiting with our like water bottles and our gloves, and we just saw people, like the kids, like kicking each other in the face, crying, like blood, and we're just like, oh. And then I remember sometimes the master at the time would be like, you should join Taekwondo, and we're like, no, I like my face the way it is. Yeah. Like, I see what you do these kids. No. And then one thing led to another. The master had asked me, oh, do you want to make some cash? Like, you can run some birthday parties or help us with summer camp. And I started doing that, ended up working there as my part-time job. And it got to the point where I was even warming up the kids for class. Parents were asking me questions. Like, I was there so much at the studio doing like the administrative work that everybody assumed I was a black belt. I remember one time during summer camp, I was teaching the kids forms, right? Just because I have a good memory because of the theater. Yeah. And I have stage presence because of the theater. So people were just like, yeah, so like, when did you get your black belt? And I go, oh, I don't even have a white belt. And it was in that moment, I was like, am I a fraud? I can't live this life. So then I talked to the master. I go, I feel horrible. I need to, like, can I do class? Can I earn some belts? I want to prove to the kids that I'm I have integrity. I'm actually a martial artist. Yeah. I'm not a fake. And then he's like, yeah, sure, if you want. I go, yeah, I do. And I started doing classes, learning the forms, and just, I think something that was really important for me to learn was the patience. Because I came in as like an instructor, I was working at the studio, I knew I was able to memorize everything really fast for the forms and the kicks and the terminology, but the time aspect was something that I had to really like, oh, I can't just test for a black belt because I know everything. I need to put in the time and the work and like learn the lessons on the mat so that way I can really understand what it means to be a black belt. And then he put me in tournaments. I think I was competing in juniors, but like as a yellow belt and and a blue belt. So I used to go to AAU nationals every year, and I was like, oh, this is so much fun. Like, I love competing, and I was just doing sparring, and then they're like, you should do forms. I go, okay, I'll do forms. I remember when I went to nationals one year, I didn't even know the form. I forgot the form, and I did a mashup, and I still ended up winning. And they're like, how did you do that? I was like, I don't know, the confidence, I guess. And then one thing led to another. When I went to college, I had my black belt, and I was like, well, let me do collegiate taekwondo. And then I started doing the college class or club at Rutgers University, and they're doing forms. I go, I don't know any of these forms. Then I realized the kind of taekwondo I was doing wasn't world taekwondo style. So I had a Kukiwon black belt.
Oh my
gosh. But it was different forms. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm even more of a front than I thought. So then I had to relearn all of the learn like all the taekwondo forms and all the black belt forms so I could compete.
Oh my gosh.
And I was competing with I remember I was competing with like some of these really high level competitors like AJ and Samri in collegiates, and I was always looking up to them like, oh my gosh, like these girls are so good, like I could never be as good as them, and now I'm like, oh, like they're my peers, like I get to compete with them. I competed with Samri last year at American Open West, and it was just such a full circle moment for me. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm here. And like I remember when I was looking up to you back in college, and now like we're competing together, and it was so cool. So yeah, I definitely have a non-traditional martial arts story. And then I think I've mentioned before, I jumped from the corporate world to martial arts as like an in-between.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up really falling in love with what martial arts can do for a family and for the kids. I have a background in social work and psychology, and I actually did, when I went to grad school, my final project or dissertation was using Taekwondo as a therapeutic technique. Okay. So I thought it was really cool to see, you know, different elements of like play therapy or sports therapy that you could use with Taekwondo for people that are, you know, have some challenges with either their anger or their anxiety or ADHD. There's so many like things or so many benefits that somebody can get from Taekwondo. And now that I've been, I guess, working professionally in Taekwondo for so long, I feel like I see more like positives for adults in Taekwondo.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really passionate about having adult students and not just the parents, but even just people that want to get in shape. I'm like, you should try martial arts or try Taekwondo. A lot of times people want Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Muay Thai, or they go really full into like the combat sports, but I feel like Taekwondo is so accessible. It meets you where you're at. It takes whatever injuries you have and works around it.
Exactly.
Whereas other sports or other workouts, like if you have a knee problem, it's really hard to do it. Mm-hmm. But if you have a knee problem, you got another leg, you got 2 arms, you got your core. You have so many other things, and I think that's so cool about martial arts, or especially Taekwondo, that you can do it even if you are missing use of parts of your body or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's about me. Anyway, I could talk forever, but I definitely found a passion for martial arts, specifically Taekwondo, throughout college and then after college, especially just seeing how helpful it is for everybody at every age, at every ability. I think it's just such an accessible sport, and it's just so cool as a master and as an instructor to see somebody grow from where they start, and how every journey is so individual to them and their individual challenges, but also everybody kind of goes through the same challenges, and it's cool. It's different, but it's the same for all of us. So
no, that's awesome. Honestly, like, because I think a lot of people stray away from getting into Taekwondo because, like my story, I started when I was 7. I did it for like 15 years, you know, and a lot of people have that story where they started as a kid and then they just grew to love it. Mm-hmm. You started as almost an adult, and a lot of people would already think like, oh, it's too late, like I can't do that. But like, no, you totally can.
Yes.
Anybody can start at any age. Like, I love the way you said how it meets you where you're at. Like, if you have a knee problem or any other joint problems, you probably shouldn't do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because you go straight into combat.
Yes.
Like Taekwondo, you should practice sparring and do the combat, but you're not required to, and it's not like as draining on your body. Like, we do light contact. We do things to kind of help certain things. There's levels.
And every class has a multitude of levels. So when you go to class, if you're not feeling good that day, you can still do class, and everybody else can do what they need to do. Mm-hmm. It's team but individual, and I think it's just very, very accessible, which I think is really cool. So.
And that's one thing I love about Taekwondo is the team aspect. It is an individual sport, but your classmates, your coaches, it makes it a whole like supporting environment that you really just wouldn't think from something that you really kind of do on your own, and everyone has their own different skill level.
Yeah, definitely.
But so I do want to ask, when did you get into competing? Because obviously we competed yesterday. You started as like a teenager. That's like, by the time people start competing as teenagers, like in the junior level, like you said, they're already black belts. They're already like doing sports poomsae. They have to know like 7 different forms. How quickly did you have to adjust from where you were at to get to the level that you wanted to be at in competing?
Yeah, I think I always felt like Taekwondo was kind of something I did for fun because, like I said, I feel like now I'm a lifelong martial artist, but I mean, growing up, I definitely was a theater kid. I was an arts kid. I never thought that my life would be what it is now, that's for sure. I never thought I'd be on Broadway.
It's okay, we can still make it. We can still make it.
But I always laugh because I remember when I got waitlisted for one of the art schools that I really wanted to get into, it was devastating. And my advisor at the time was a martial artist, and he did Taekwondo.
Really?
And he's like, I stopped at a green belt. He's an adult. Marshall Jones, love you. But I remember talking to him in his office. I'm bawling my eyes out, like, maybe I won't even go to college and I'll just do martial arts. And he's like, oh, do you want to learn? Do you want to, like, you don't have to, there's not one way to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can get waitlisted for this dream that you have, but maybe it might be the best thing that happened to you, and it was. And through that, I was able to grow my martial arts passion and have the opportunity to travel and all of that. But I think I really started getting into competition in college with the NCTAs, and like I got to like hang with these big dogs. It felt like because I was older, I was always kind of put with the black belts or with these high level senior competitors. Oh my gosh, but it was intimidating. But I think with my theatrical background, I was able to kind of hang just because I was used to being on stage. I was used to being perceived.
Yeah.
So I feel like that really helped a long way with my competition. And then after college and when I made the pivot to teaching full time, I realized how important competition can be for especially martial artists, especially Taekwondo practitioners, because it puts you outside of your comfort zone. Okay, it puts you in front of people that you don't normally like see or that don't know you, and you have to prove yourself in a way where you're proving yourself to you. Like, of course you have people judging you, but you're not really competing with the other people on the mat. You're competing with the best version of yourself. And can you be better than the last time you did this form or the last time that you stepped out and fought? And I think when I started doing poomsae competitively, the biggest challenge for me was like, can I do this? Because I'm hanging with people, or I'm trying to compete with people that have been doing this since they were 6 or 4 or 5. And I have maybe 7 years of Taekwondo. And then even more than that, at the time when I started doing collegiate poomsae, I think I had 3 years of sport poomsae. And it was learning what sport poomsae was, learning the poomsae, learning how to do a low block, and also trying to get my flexibility and like all these things. And it was trying to do everything at once, which was very frustrating and challenging, but I think it was really fun. And now having the opportunity to train out here in California and actually be a part of a team. I was never on a team before. When it came to sport poomsae, I was always kind of training myself or going like once a week, like traveling 3 hours to Pennsylvania to go train and then going back to New York for work. I never was really on a poomsae team until I moved out to California. And now seeing how they train, how these elite athletes train, it's just crazy. Like, I would have never thought Taekwondo poomsae was this intense. I always joke that when people talk about sparring, they're always saying, oh, let's go to the lab. We're going to the lab to do work. But poomsae, it's like we're in the dungeon. We have instruments of torture. We have all these bands, all these weights. It's really like body mechanics. And then if your body is right, then you can do anything. And I think, I don't know. I think I always was interested in competition because of my performance background. But I think I really had this moment of like, oh man, I think I can do this at a high level. Maybe a few years ago when I made the decision to move from New York to California, I was like, this is my opportunity to really be a part of like a Taekwondo team, to up my training and like actually train for a purpose instead of just training whenever I can and going to these tournaments and kind of hanging out and like competing. But I remember I had been to US Open maybe 4 years, 5 years in a row, and I would always just lose first round, and I would just sit there and like watch everybody, and it was just cool to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year, I went to US Open and I won, and I was just like,
That's
holy
awesome.
It's like when I won US Open, I was like, oh my god, like maybe I can do this. Like maybe if I actually train and dedicate time specific to Pumse training, like I can hang with these people that have been doing Taekwondo for so long, and I really opened my eyes to it's never too late. You can always come back to something. Like the people that quit or they take a break from Taekwondo, they can always come back.
Yes.
Because it is so accessible. Even if you feel like, oh, I forgot everything, like no, you can
relearn it, yeah.
You can come back.
Muscle memory kicks in.
Kicks in. And also, sometimes when you take a break, your bad habits go away.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that moment last year when I went to US Open after training with Master Lee and Doang Lee, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I think I can do this. Like, let me try. Like, let me actually take the time to train, like set aside the training hours and really focus on me instead of, focus so much on like growing the studio or working so much for the students. Like, let me take some time for me and like be selfish, I guess, in that way.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it was just really wonderful to do that. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to Rio for the Senior World Championships in 2 weeks.
That's insane.
It's like,
yeah, like, that's so incredible.
Like, I would have never guessed, like, I don't know, it's crazy. Like, I went to team trials for the first time this year. And I was like, I've never even been invited here. And I'm like, oh, like, now I'm like, I think right now, one of my friends and peers texted me a few weeks ago. She goes, you're ranked #1, like, by 1,000,000 points or whatever. I was like, what? And I look on the point ranking, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what? Like,
That's
it's just
awesome.
so unbelievable. And it's like, wow, like, I definitely feel finally that I'm not an imposter anymore. It's like, no, I earned this.
Yeah.
And like, let's see how much further I can go. And let's be real, I'm trying to be a gold coat.
Hey, yes. Those uniforms.
Grandmaster Thalia,
Yes.
So, I don't know, I just think competition gives you, as you get higher in the belt ranks, like once you're a master, once you're a 5th dan, 6th dan, like it gives you that extra thing to work towards. So more than just your studio, more than just your students. And then it also shows your students like, hey, you can still do stuff for yourself and work and have a family. And it's like,
yeah,
I think, I don't know, I don't know. I think martial arts and competition gives you an opportunity to do something for yourself where you can show the people around you, like, it's important to do things that you want to do.
Yeah.
And also, like, do your job or do your responsibilities. But, you should also enjoy your life. And if that means you want to compete, like, do it,
Yeah.
Who cares if you're 40, 50, whatever? Like, do it. Like,
I love seeing people out there in, like, the older divisions. I'm like, yes, finally.
Yes, like, do it. You want to do freestyle? Do it. Let's cartwheel, It's like, why not? So, I don't know. I think people get discouraged because they see these high-level athletes at 15, 14 years old where they're ballers.
Yeah.
And you're like, how can I ever break into that? It's like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it, because you either win or you're going to learn and you're going to have fun. Like, and you're going to challenge yourself. And if you can go on the mat and put yourself out there in something that, like, somebody's literally beating you up, then you can do anything.
Yeah.
You can go for that interview. You can go talk to somebody at the coffee shop. Like, if you can do it on the mat where it's high stakes and painful,
yeah,
like, you can do it anywhere in your life. And I think that's really the crux of competition. It's giving yourself that challenge where if I can do this, I can do anything.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
And I think that's why I really love competition.
I just don't think people understand how intense competitions are with especially Pumse.
Yeah.
Because, like, we had a couple students yesterday. It was their first time competing and sparring. They were a little bit older students, and you would think, like, it was their first competition. They want to watch, like, all the black belts spar and this and stuff. And they were doing that all day. But come towards the end of the day, because juniors and seniors were, like, one of the last people. But
those poor juniors, they're waiting all day long. They're so strong.
They came around to watch one of our girls who was in that junior division, and this was, like, their first time being exposed to, like, actually seeing sports Pumse in action. Yeah. And they were like, this is so intense. Oh my God. And they were like, oh, well, they're so close, but, like, this girl was, like, a little sharper, but and it was, like, it was so crazy. And then you could see the differences between the mats, because, like, one side's obviously doing sparring, this side's doing Pumse. The Pumse side's silent.
Yes.
Like, nobody says a thing. We're just, everyone's watching you. Nobody's saying anything. And sparring's, like, yelling. It's crazy. It's fun. But Pumse, the pressure is on. Everyone who is paying attention to Pumse is watching you.
Yes, yes.
And then now with the random Pumse, you're up with one other person instead of just you on the mat, which you think would make you feel better, but no, it doesn't make you
I don't know. I will say, I get very nervous. Even when I was performing, as soon as I step on the stage or I step on the mat, it's that first poomsae or that first time I'm walking, I'm like, oh my god, I'm here, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Oh god. Like they're all watching me, and then afterwards I'm like, okay, like let's go to the next round. But I think having the random poomsae I really like, because when I have the compulsory, I overthink and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, Pyongwon, I need to do the side kicks, and then I end up chopping it up and it's so horrible.
That's fair.
But I feel like the element of surprise I really like, and I feel like it kind of quells my nerves.
Okay. Because there's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing you can do about it. It's like, okay, like, there you go. Kumgang it is. So.
Kumgang, oh my gosh.
I think the hardest is when you're with somebody else on the mat, is like, okay, you are already in the middle of the mat. They tell you your poomsae and you're like, oh no, like, I think I'm standing too close. Like, I got shipped in yesterday.
And shipping goes long.
I walked in and then I saw the other lady. I was like, okay, she's standing there and I'm standing here. And then I see Sipton and I'm like, am I gonna go off? I was looking to the left. I was like, am I gonna go off the mat when I do this punch right now? I go, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I did my punch and I came. I was like this close from the
end of the mat.
I'll be okay. It's fine. But we did it. We out there, so it's fine. But it was definitely. I don't know. I love competition. I just think it's so fun. And
there's
to
a lot
meet everybody and like the camaraderie that you get.
Yeah.
When you don't ever see these people except at competition, and you're like, oh man, that's my hobby. And
like, we're out here nervous together, about to break down.
It's just so cool. And then I don't know. I think it's and the parents, I think, get so excited and they're so involved, and it gives them, I don't know. It's just so cool. So
the energy is really cool.
The energy is cool. Yeah.
Everyone's just on one. Everyone's ready to go.
Yes, agreed.
Yesterday I got Shipjin, which I was hoping for because I love Shipjin, and then I got choreo, which I wasn't too excited about, but I love choreo, the form. I just don't think I do it that great, so I hate getting it. But those two I always get, so I was like, I kind of already knew it ahead of time.
Yes.
But when we did Shipjin, I did think I was too close to the girl because we stood like in the same line. When I was like, maybe I should have took a step forward just in case. But yeah, I was like, yes, I was like, it's already done.
Yeah, it's like, what's done is done. You gotta yell.
So,
yeah.
How many people were in your bracket yesterday?
Girl. First of all, I was looking at the bracket and I go, I'm not on here. And then they put me in under 30. I was like, get me out of here.
Oh my god.
I'm not on here. And then somebody said, oh no, your name's listed in the under 30 division. I was like, get me. I'm under 40. Also, I'm 31, but still under 40.
Yeah.
And normally it's senior too, but they had us as ultra yesterday.
Oh, what?
I go, I feel a certain way about it. They're like ultra sport poomsae. I was like, oh, that's me. But there were supposed to be three of us, but there ended up just being two. But I feel like in my division, it's either so small or so big. Like at US Open, I think we had like 20 people, which is huge. Yeah, and then
that's awesome though.
Yeah, and then I think Canada we had like 17 or 18, and then US Open I think we had like 20 or like 19, and then sometimes I'll go and it's just me and one other lady or me and two other ladies, but it's cool because I don't know, we're always so chill with each other, like, hey, you ready? Yeah, and then we get to compete, we hang out, and then we kiki and then we leave. But like I said, I'm getting ready for Rio, so it was good to just get on the mat and like try to try to apply the changes that my coach has been asking. So I got Shipjin and Jite, so I think I did pretty well. He gave me some good feedback, because sometimes I'll go and he'll be like, what was that? And I go, yeah, you're right.
You're right. It's no notes. It's fine.
But yesterday he was just like, after I did Shipjin, he was like, okay, next one. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, Shipjin was good. Shipjin was good enough. Okay.
Yeah, good enough.
And I'm gonna be honest, don't take notes, but psychic forms are better for me.
Really?
Yeah. So whenever I get Shipjin or like 8 or 7.
Oh, okay.
Oh, girl. I was just so happy I didn't get 7 yesterday. 7 is I'm working on conquering it. So
it's okay. We all have that one.
7. I don't know why. It should be so easy, but I feel like, I don't know, 7 and 8.
I'm the opposite. My front kicks, I have so much confidence in. My side kicks, though, but it's only because they're not even on both sides.
Fair.
Yeah, because I have an issue with my right hip, and I think it's from like us doing like power kicks when I was younger, so I just ruined my joint.
Yep.
But so when I kick with my left leg, my right hip won't let me like straighten my leg all the way, so I can never stick it.
Yep.
And then they're like not even, so it's docked a million times.
Yep.
Which I'm just like, so choreo yesterday, I was like, we just gotta get through the side kicks. Everything else is fine, I swear.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, but I don't know. I really love Pumse. I think it's so cool, like that you get to compete against yourself. Of course, you're competing against others, but you really get to like see, okay, is what I practice working?
Mm-hmm. Am I improving?
Yeah, am I improving? And then even not even with the scores, just like with your. Because sometimes you get a score and you're like, that doesn't really match.
Yeah.
And as a coach too, like sometimes somebody will get a score and I'm like, that doesn't really make sense. But it's not so much about the score, it's about your performance, right?
Exactly.
It's about your performance, not so much the result. Of course, the result is great. Like getting a medal or whatever is nice. But if you do a solid Pumse, then that's going to help you in your longevity in your career, right?
Yeah.
Because states or local tournament, especially if you're like working to hire like world championships or something like that, like all these tournaments are stepping stones, and everything is like, okay, I did it this way this time, that didn't work. Next time, I need to make my mental this way, or I need to warm up this way, or be more ready in this aspect.
Yeah. And it's all things you can control.
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest part about Pumse. One of the junior boys was talking to me last night, and he goes, yeah, something I've been working on is what I can control. And this kid is just turned 16, and he's talking like so maturely about the aspects of martial arts and competition, about like, oh, I want to make sure that the other boys that I compete with, like that, they know that even though we compete together, like we can still be friends and we can hang out, and like there's no like bad blood between us. Like if you win, that's great. If I win, that's great, because we're working on doing the best that we can be. And if I didn't win, then that was something that maybe I didn't do that I need to change.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like the judges, or maybe the judges are scoring weird or whatever, but it's like, I can only control what I can do. And if I do full out and I don't make I don't make any mistakes, and I don't have any balance issues, then that's a win.
Yeah.
Right? And then also being consistent in that. So I think, it's cool. It's really cool. So
I do love the mindset that competing, whether it's sparring or Pumse, does breed in like younger athletes. Like, that's incredible. He's only like 16, and they're just like,
dang,
people wait their whole lives to have this epiphany. Yeah.
And especially in competitive sports, it can be so, I don't want to say catty, but it can be so.
No, it can be.
And that's one of the reasons I think I didn't really gravitate to sport. I mean, let's be real, in the theater industry, it's also very like, oh, you got the lead, you don't deserve it.
Yeah,
and it's easy to support people when they're doing well, but it's like, if you don't win, or like, you don't get what you want, then how do you react? That's like, that being a good sport,
that's where it shows.
So important in Taekwondo. I think it comes from that respect that we cultivate in the Taekwondo studios, but you can totally see it when you're at these competitions, where even if you win first place, you're giving the other person a hug, you're giving them a handshake, you're like being like, oh, that was really good. Yeah. And even when you lose, you're like, man, like, good job. Like, like we're both out here doing this, and it's so supportive. And I think that's also really cool. Even with sparring, like if somebody loses, like, or you get docked points for bad behavior. So it's also encouraged to be a good sport. And it's like, at the end of the day, we're all working to make Taekwondo a good experience for everyone. And I think that respect is really important, and it's very important for everybody, which I think is cool too.
Absolutely. And Taekwondo's the main or respect is the main fundamental of Taekwondo.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really does show through competitions. Like everyone, like you said, everyone's out there trying their best, trying to be better than how they were last time. Yeah, you want to win, but it's also like you're making improvements on yourself.
And I think I've gone to some other like events, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments and all of that stuff, and they have a good culture too, but I can definitely feel I don't know, not the respect, but the encouragement and the positive environment more in these Taekwondo tournaments, especially even between coaches and to athletes that might not be there from their studio. If they look lost, like, they're more like, hey, do you know where you're going? What ring are you going to? Like, they're more likely to help people that aren't even their athletes. And I think that's not something that you would normally see at other places. Yeah. And I think that community is even if you're in a studio in one state and I'm in a studio in another state,
both of our athletes are competing in this division. We're here together. We're making sure that the athletes are having the best experience that they have too. So I think, you know, being an athlete and a coach is just so cool. I don't know. It's like, it's very cool. Very cool.
Oh, so I want to ask you a couple things about that, actually. So first off, I'm sure everyone wants to know, as a coach who also competes, how do you manage your time?
Girl!
Because you got to be there for your call
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
You got to make
yeah.
sure your students go to staging for their call times. You're running around. You also, like, if someone's on the mat, you kind of have to go help them also.
Yes,
but then
yes.
you're like, wait, are they calling me? So is there anything that you do that kind of helps you do that easily? Or is it just, we're doing our best every single time?
I think the biggest thing is preparation. Something that I always push with the students. Like right now I have a few private students that I work with and that I'll coach them. And something that I always push is you need to know what you need to do, because I might be there, but I might not be there. And also, like, sometimes they're at a tournament and I can't go because I have a different tournament. So something that I always push them and their parents to do is you need to know what division you're at. You need to know your schedule. You need to know who to talk to, and giving them that autonomy and confidence to be like, hey, if you don't know what to do, you know, go to the desk, ask them, tell them, you know, be clear with what you're saying. If somebody's calling you, always show them your badge. Like, I'm very, very much preparation. Like when we're preparing for a tournament, I will set up in the studio. I set up the chairs. I get the clipboard. I have them sitting down. I play ambiance, like competition, like like crowd music. And I'm like, all right, Cherie. Like I'm mispronouncing their names, and they're sitting there like, Sarah, and I'm like, oh yeah, Sarah, like, are you here? And I'm using my performance background, but I'm like, hey, you guys are laughing, but people, they're gonna mispronounce your name. Yeah. It's gonna be loud. You're gonna be confused. You have to pay attention. You have to know where you need to be, and if you see other people that are wearing your belt at the same age, like, you need to talk to them. Don't be nervous. Like, talk to the people around you. Like, be outspoken and know what you need to do, and be in charge of yourself. And I think that really goes a long way, because now, I went to a tournament. I think it was at US Open. I had an athlete that I was coaching, and shout out Haley. She's like, Master Thalia, I need to go here. And I was like, yes, you do. And I was like, dang. Am I even the coach anymore? I'm like, no, she knows what to do. And that's what we prepare for, because she, as an athlete, needs to be able to do it by herself. Because maybe some days, I'm not going to be there. Her parents aren't going to be there. They're not allowed back in the holding area. Or sometimes the tournaments get very picky with, oh, your match number's not here. You're not allowed in holding. Yeah. So she needs to be able to do that, or they need to be able to do that by themselves. And I think preparation is really, really big. And then also I give them, like, I call it homework, but I'll give them their list. So if they are at the tournament, they know if I'm waiting, I can do anything on this list. And then that keeps me calm, that keeps me focused. Maybe it's some sort of stretching. Maybe it's something about the specific skill or kick that they've been working on. So that way they can also put their mind on something that they, clear their mind by focusing on something else instead of just overthinking and waiting.
What's going on, yeah.
Yeah. So I think just preparation is super important, and being able to give them the autonomy and being okay as a coach to step back. Because I think the other thing is, as a coach, we want to make sure that, like, we're in charge, like we're leading everybody. But being a leader also means training these athletes to be able to lead themselves. Yes. And then also, I think that same group went to a tournament. I think it was in Nevada or Arizona last month, and I wasn't there because I was at a different event. And the tournament had said they had designated Pumse for color belts, but they changed the way they ran the red belt division, but didn't announce it. So the red belt division was being run like the black belt division, side by side. Oh. And so even though there were 6 people, we thought it was just final Pumse. So everybody's only practicing the final Pumse, but they're running it bracketed style. Gotcha. So final Pumse is 2 Pumse, and then it's not finals, it's semifinals. So I had one athlete that had only been practicing the 1 Pumse, and then the other athlete that was like a senior belt, she was like, come on, like, we need to practice, like let me help you with these forms. And to hear that athlete took that initiative, and I was like, you know what, we practice that. Like, we have to be ready for anything. So if it changes, you have to be able to help your partners, especially if your main coach isn't there or somebody else is coaching you. So I feel like, just preparation is super important, and preparing them for anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think it's cool. So, and being able to take a step back.
Yeah, having the athletes being able to step up and do that for themselves, because sometimes, especially with the little kids, they're, hey, are Do you know where you're going? Are you good?
Just blank stares, empty faces.
Yeah, they're just trying to have fun. They're like, oh, I'm at competition. Woo!
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Honestly, I think I need to do that for my little sister because sometimes she just be running around.
Yeah, and then you're like, where are you? Are you where you need to be? And they're like, I don't know. It's like, okay.
So she lucked out yesterday though. Like I said, she went first for Pumse at our school, and then first for sparring, and then was done by like 10:30.
Nice, must
and
be
all
nice.
of us were waiting till like
Must be
7
nice.
PM,
Must
so
be nice.
She was okay.
It's the name of the game though, so
you never know.
sit around and wait. Hurry up and wait.
Yeah, and then I also wanted to ask you, what made you want to? Well, I don't know if this actually applies because you started training as like almost an adult, and then coaching came shortly after. But I think a lot of people, when they make the transition from student to coach, they stop being a student or stop competing themselves. So why are you so adamant about staying in the competition as an athlete?
I think when you become a studio owner or a master or a teacher, it's important to keep learning. I think something that I always was really instilled by my dad was always pursue education, always pursue and be curious. And I think I bring that into my Taekwondo a lot because I think being a competitor and having, being on a competition team gives me that chance to learn and be like, oh man, like I'm not the best. I have a lot to learn. And specifically with Taekwondo, you can be good enough for a belt test. You can be good enough for to win this competition, but you're still not perfect.
Exactly.
Like there's no end to Taekwondo. Like in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or other like MMA, it's like, okay, once you get these strikes down, like you don't really need to learn anything else. It's just kind of like maintaining.
Apply them,
yeah. It's like you're already at a top level. Even with soccer or like figure skating, there's a point where you get to plateau. Where it's like you just need to maintain. You don't really get any better because you mastered everything and you just kind of maintain. Yeah. But with Taekwondo, you have to change, especially when you're competing. They change the rules every tournament. Yeah. Like, okay, now we want you to kick high. No, actually, now you have to kick exactly at your forehead. Oh, now you have to do low block like this, or you have to do this part of choreo like this. No. Now you have to do the 5-second move like that. It's ever changing because they need to find who's going to get first place by that point, that 100th of a point. So they have to keep changing the rules and they have to keep adjusting as the training gets better and the athletes get better. And I think being a competitor forces me to keep learning and forces me to kind of stay humble in the sense of like, I don't know everything. Yeah. And I even if I teach you this thing today, like maybe tomorrow it's going to change and that's okay. And I always tell my athletes and myself, like, you can learn from anyone. Sometimes you go to you train with a different master or you train with a different team and they tell you something completely different than what you've learned and you have to just be like, yeah, yes sir, yes ma'am, and put it in your toolbox. I always think I'm a gamer girl. Okay. I play Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah.
I love farming sims, and I think something that's important in those games is you have to collect. Because you have to collect in order to make things. And I think Taekwondo is the same way. You collect as much information as you can so that way when you compete and you see the judges are grading a certain way or they're grading lower because people are doing one thing, you can say, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this instead because I have this toolbox or this pocket to choose from. And I think being okay with not being right all the time is a big part of Taekwondo too. It's like, I think as a master, we can say, oh yeah, like I know what's right, but also I have to be okay with being wrong sometimes and admitting that I'm wrong to my students, to my families. Like sometimes even with belt testing, like I'll have to change things with belt testing because, actually we don't really, I was wrong with the way that we did this or I explained this. Let's do it this way instead. And being open to change. And I think that fostering knowledge or fostering like that curiosity helps you be okay with changing because it's not wrong, it's just different, or it's just something new to add to your collection. So I don't know, I think competition really helps me stay up to date and keep learning, especially training on a team where I'm not in charge gives me the time that I need for myself to be a student. And then when I coach, I'm like, man, I know how they're feeling. Because I think a lot of times with coaching and when you're not competing, you get used to teaching and you forget what it means. Like you forget what the other side feels like. Yeah. Like when you tell them to do 100 kicks, you're like, why aren't you moving faster? But then when you have to do 100 kicks, you're like, oh, right.
I'm tired.
Oh, right. Actually, yeah, let's do 50. So sometimes, like right now, I'll go to practice and then afterwards I go and teach a class or I teach a private lesson. And it's funny because sometimes I'll see them. They're like, oh man, like this stinks. And I'm like, they're like, oh, this hurts. I go, I just did this with a heavier band than you. And look at my scar. And they're like, okay, I can do it. I can do it with this. I'm like, also, I'm only making you do 10. I just did this for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. I'm making you do 10 reps. They're like, oh, okay. Or, if I see that they're flagging or they're having a low energy day, it's like, I can relate to that a lot more and be understanding and say, hey, you know what, let's do this instead. But I think, I don't know, competition helps me be a better coach because it puts me on that other end more frequently. So
there's another team, I can't remember, they were there yesterday too, but like the choreography is so good. I'm like,
Modern Day Knights. That was.
I think there's the one in the all black.
I know the gray uniforms, like the dark gray. That was Invictus, and then
that one, yeah, Invictus.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then there's another one. I thought they were all like. I guess that was the gray uniform, not black.
Yeah, it was like a dark.
Yeah. That one, yeah.
And then
they got good.
Yeah, I like. Me and one of my masters were. Who's gonna know? Okay, cool. I think we're talking about it, and. Like the demo routine in order, I was like, demo team is hard to do, one, because it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of practice, you have to be in sync with everyone. But I think the main thing is when you're up there, because it's more of like a crowd engaging thing. If the crowd's not engaging, you feel like you're doing something wrong.
Yes, absolutely.
And you're like, so there's like a certain way the routine needs to be to get the crowd to engage. And it was like, it needs to be that like that slow build up, climactic, slow build up. Like there needs to be spikes, and you can't just have like a whole bunch of stuff and then like some chill stuff, and then like so it needs to be set up a certain way. And I think that team does so good at it. Like I love the gray uniforms.
Yes,
the dark gray uniforms. They look so good. I was like, I don't know what I love. Yeah, I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I saw 2 of them walking outside, and I was like. It's nice. I was like, turn around, let me see the logo on your back. Like, I was in there.
Yeah.
Those are so nice.
I'm all about the merch, TBH.
Yeah, and then they went up, and I was like, so nice. Their routine was really good. I like the way they set up a lot of the, what's the word? Like a lot of the aerials. Mm-hmm. No, I can't do any of them, so I'm not, don't see me on freestyle, don't say, but the way they set it up, just looked really good. I liked all the formations they had. But I liked the other team. They had the white uniform and then
the ITC. Oh no, that's Invictus.
Oh, that is.
Right? And then there's another one. It was
just had the black thing that went over.
Yeah.
I like how they put all the weapons in there.
Yes.
Because you don't really see like a lot of weapons in demo. Because it's like I think a lot of people it's difficult to get everyone to move at the same time. Which it is. But they did really good. Yeah. Like they were all in sync with the nunchucks and the bow staffs. I was like, okay.
It's so impressive that they have these giant, like this many kids that dedicate their time to practice that. Because I feel like the hardest part about even just Taekwondo in general is like getting people to go to class and to practice. You know, so it's like
in demo you got to put hours. You do with like pool games, but sparring, but
that's
with everybody
matters.
Yeah, so that's with everybody.
Yeah, so it's hard to just practice by yourself for demo. You know, so I mean you can, but it's not the same.
Yeah, and then I did kind of feel bad though for all of the teams just because the speakers weren't that great. And I know with demo team, a lot of their cues are the bass. Yeah, and then the speakers we had yesterday at the venue didn't have any bass. Like you could hear everything else. Yes, you could tell it was like lacking the deeper like. And you could see like some of the students kind of looking around the court, and I was like, no, it's okay, just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going.
So I was like, that's another thing for demo. We need to make sure they have like adequate speakers.
I mean, same with freestyle.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So there's like for Pan Ams, they were like, oh, if you're freestyle, bring your own speaker. I was like, you're telling these kids to bring their own speaker, like just in case, like that's crazy.
I mean, it's better than
that's true
using what they say might not work.
That's true.
I would actually kind of prefer that. I would totally ship my own speaker. Like I know this.
Like, you want me to have a whole checked bag for a speaker? Like that's crazy.
That's so funny. Freestyle Bumse, I think,
so cool.
It's beautiful. I would totally love to do that, but I can barely do it back then. So we got a lot of work if we're gonna be in that.
Yeah, I feel like for the team that I'm on is a freestyle and recognized team, so we all train everything.
Oh, that's cool. I think they're so cool.
They're so cool, but I'm like, I can do very little. I'm gonna do very little. If they right now it's either under 17 or over 17. So if they did a separate, like maybe both 30, I consider doing freestyle team.
Okay.
Maybe. Do not go me on that.
No, I feel that. I'm aging up next year. So I thought I aged up this year because I turned 30 next month.
Bro, no.
And they got me. They totally got me. I was like, I walked in, I was like, oh, finally. Because like, my hips don't work. I was like, I get to age up.
Too. No.
Yeah, no, they were like, you're a senior this year. I was like, okay.
Yep. I remember because last year was my first year in the division, and when I was 30, I was like, oh yeah, I was like, USM is gonna be so fun, and then I get there, I'm like, oh my god,
I'm still doing this. She's 18.
I think I did nationals that year. I did recognized team, and it was me, and then like obviously this is my last year. It was my last year, and then the other girl on my team, it was her first year. She wasn't even 18 yet.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, because her 18th birthday's that year.
I was like, oh.
I'm sorry, I just that was okay.
It's like, get me out of here. But yeah. Yesterday I was really laughing when I saw my name on the under 30s. Like,
I'm gonna fix this.
get me out. Please.
That's funny. I love the holder if you don't want to. I just turn it up so you don't have to. Okay.
Hello. Yeah, but
that's so funny. Yeah, man. Yesterday was fun though. I also did traditional.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to choose, or did they tell you which one to do?
There's 2 categories. So like you could just pick one. But obviously if there's only sports, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
But they offered traditional, so I did that too.
No, but like you picked your pumse, or did you have to?
Oh
do
no,
like whatever felt.
So I'm a 3rd degree, so it's Tibet, yeah. But you have to do your.
Favorite.
Well, I'm so happy because I just got my 3rd degree last month. Thank you.
Congratulations.
So I don't have to do Kumgang anymore.
Yes.
And no, I know Kumse hate, but Kumgang it's a tough one.
Yeah. Honestly, I love them all because how can you have a favorite child? I love all the pumse the same because they're all so great and I love them. Especially Taeguk 7 and Taeguk 8 and
some
choreo.
need more time. Some need more attention than others.
Yes. And they have good faces. You know, everybody. So, yeah. But I really do I love Taeguk. Taeguk is such a.
I like it. It's different.
It's different and it's such a energetic pumse. Like, I think choreo is. If I think of the black belt pumse, I think choreo is like, okay, black belt.
Yes.
It's very flashy. It's very like, okay, we're a black belt, you know?
It's completely different than all the Taeguk forms. You're like going from Poom to your first song. You're like, this is incredible. I gotta do choreo.
But it's also, you get some breaks. Like, there's some slower parts. There's a lot more like stopping, I feel like.
Yeah.
Especially with the kiosks and everything. And then you do Kungan and it's no kicking.
Very
technical, very balance heavy. And then like same thing with Shipchin, very technical, very balance heavy, very like slowed down, very relaxed. And even Jite is very, like, you have to be more flexible in the way of showing the speed and then showing the calm. And then showing the speed and then showing the calm. And even more so than Shipjin. And then Kyungwon. Kyungwon's crazy. and then Jite, Taebak is like, wow, like it reminds me of Taeguk Sajang, where it's like there's no stop. There's no stop from the beginning to the end. It's such a, like, you have to have the endurance for 10 minutes. Especially if you're at a competition and you have to do every round 10 minutes.
Oh, that would be so tough. Because I have a problem where I forget to breathe. That's my main problem.
I know,
I think I'll breathe for like the first half and the second half because I get so caught up in my thoughts, I just forget. And then when you do me, I'm like,
the ending.
Yeah.
The bottle. Oh my god. Yeah, no, breathing is probably the hardest. It should be easy. It's not.
Because you're just thinking so much because they're so technical.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Kumgang, even like I feel like that's the one I definitely hold my breath because my Boomsay coach, I love her, but she's like on it every single rehearsal. She's like looking at you, and then when she comes around, she's like your mountain block is slightly off. I'm like, oh yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like even all of our Boomsay team Kumgang, we're just like we're always looking for nose, we're always looking for her face.
Yes.
And it's like it's a tough one to master. I think when it's done right, it's just so. I want to talk about the cadet boys and the junior boys.
Yes.
When they do Kumgang, their turns are so good.
Crazy.
It's
their hips. It's the anatomy of it all. It's the anatomy of it all.
It looks so smooth.
I'll give them Kumgang. Because every other group say the girls looks a lot better. It's because of their hips. It's because of the way that their hips are that they can spin that way. Like we can't do that because of the anatomy that we have. And
dang, it looks so good.
It looks so smooth.
And then, that pumse is for like strong man teeth.
That's
Strong man teeth. So
I just love watching them do it. Like that's my favorite. Whenever they go on, I'm like, I gotta just go.
No,
Someone's gonna get Kungang. I just need to check out this turns.
I love when they do Kungang. And I think, I feel like that's the only form I really like to watch them.
Yeah.
Or choreo, depending. Like some of those cadet boys, dang, when they do choreo, I'm like,
Yesterday,
wow.
I saw some of the boys, they scored 9s on
Yeah.
their forms. I was like, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think the judges were like scoring pretty happy because personally, I usually get like mid 7s, sometimes high 7s if I'm like really on it. I got like a mid 8 yesterday, and I was like, okay, you guys.
You really think so?
I was like 8.
Yes, one of my teammates one of my teammates is a freestyle player, but this tournament historically didn't have freestyle as a qualifying event for nationals.
Okay.
So some of the freestyle players, they have to do recognized at this event so they can qualify for nationals. So one of my teammates, he's the junior with the insights. He did Pumse yesterday, and it was so good. First of all, he did such a good job, and he was so hyped. He's like, I got an 8.6, and I was like, period.
Yeah.
Period. Bask in that, because that's awesome. It feels good, right? So
Then you sit there waiting for your score, and you're like,
yeah, I was like, dang, no. I think I don't know. The Pumse ring yesterday, we always have challenges with the Pumse Pro and all that stuff, but dang, it was a long tournament yesterday.
I did like it though because it kind of puts all the competitors in the same mindset. We're like, hey, we've all been here waiting all day. Like we're just all chill right now. Like we're all like, it's cool, guys.
I think the hardest job at the tournament is being a ref.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially, I mean, for sparring too, but I think especially for Pumse because
everyone's so intense about it. Like,
and they can see on the screen who did
and everything's broken down. It's like,
and the coaches know that too.
Yeah, they're looking. Everyone's reporting it. Like,
and they're like, I saw that you did this, or sometimes they'll be like, I saw that you were looking somewhere else when my student was going. It's like, oh my god! And then they have a video.
Yeah,
so they're recording.
They record the whole thing, and they don't just get the person; they get the whole thing. They're like watching.
But I really like those refs. Really do.
They're under a lot of pressure.
They do the work.
They're under a lot of pressure, and especially when they have technical issues and it's not their fault. They can't do anything. It's
and
like
wait.
And they're like, I'm so sorry, and I'm like, it's fine. It's totally cool, man. And you can tell they're on edge, which. It's a high pressure job.
It's high stakes.
Like our competition, we go up, we do our form, we leave. They're there all day.
I mean, how many times can you watch? I think the random Pumse is best for them because now
they're not watching one at the same time.
Can you imagine watching Taekwondo all day?
Yeah, that's actually fair. That's a good point. I never thought about that.
Or just like, oh gosh. So at least I think, I don't know. Comment below. If you're a referee, comment below. Do you like it?
Which one do you like better, the random or?
I feel like the random would be better because then you get a little variation. But that's a tough job sitting there all day, and also I don't know how comfortable those chairs are.
They don't look comfortable at all.
I mean, better than the benches, but bleachers. Oh my.
Oh, the bleachers on the far side though I noticed had the back support, and then the other ones didn't.
Oh, I didn't see the back support.
Yeah, no, we don't need it.
I gotta look around.
Okay, the good side.
Yeah, I gotta look around better next time. Yeah, I was definitely on the other side of the rings yesterday. So.
One thing I do want to share though that I was really salty about is that when I started sports Pumse, I was already a senior. I'm not a big blue fan.
Oh, yeah, I love red pants either.
I want red pants so bad. They look so good.
They look so good.
And I never got them. And I'm like, can I just buy it to have it? Because that uniform, it looks so good. Like that's a perfect shade of red.
It is.
And like blue's not my favorite color.
I don't mind
it. Yeah,
because I'm wearing blue.
But it's just like our pants are cool. They're like a nice like baby bluish whatever. But the red pants. If you're a cadet or you just know, guys, I want your uniform. It looks so crisp.
I also started as a senior. So when I was color belt, like white uniform. And then when I was a black belt, I was only a senior. So I only ever wore the same uniform.
Blue pants, yeah.
So sad. But I was so happy when they changed the rules last year, 2 years ago, when they added Jite and they took out 6.
Oh,
yeah. They changed the Pumse.
Yes.
Because I was like, wow, like, finally something new. Like, yes, new Pumse. You know?
And also, my 6, it's a little rough because my hips, it's my round kick. I'm like,
this kick is why is it so hard?
It's so hard. And then you see everyone else do it. I'm like, dang, you're sticking that like to the ceiling. And mine's
Yep. When watching the youth and the cadets do Taekwondo stick, I'm like,
They're so good.
so good. My roundhouse kick. I don't
My
know.
partner could never.
For some reason, that roundhouse kick in Taekwondo sticks is so hard. But roundhouse kick outside of it, anything is fine.
Maybe it's because you're coming from that deep front stance, and then you have to like pull all the way up or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I watch those girls do that Taekwondo sticks, and I'm like, man, I want to be you, like right now.
And it's so crazy, like how much power that you could put into all these moves, no matter what your stature is. And I think that's also really cool. Like, geez, it's really just about generating the right energy, physics, man.
Yeah,
it's science. And aren't we all just women and stuff?
Yeah, the body, like, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. And seeing all the girls too perform, and no shade to the guys, you guys are doing great, but the girls, it's insane. Like, their sidekicks, and they're like basically forcing themselves to do a split standing up on one leg, all balanced,
and it looks like it looks hard. Like, it looks like powerful.
Yeah,
you know? It's not
and
just
they snap at the right time, but it's also very graceful.
Yes.
And
relax.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, it's just they make it look so easy.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
make it look so easy. It's such an art, and that's why I love Pumse. Like, I just like watching it. It's crazy.
I think I don't know. I love them both, and I think a common misconception is that sparring and Pumse are so different, but they're really not. It's like you need the same impact, right? When you're sparring, you have to hit to get the point. If you don't have the pressure, then it's not gonna register, right? In Pumse, it's the same thing. Although you're not kicking a target, you're kicking in the air, but you still need to show that intense, like that pop, that the impact, right? Especially with the blocks. I think something that I always work on with myself and my athletes is like when you're blocking, like it doesn't need to be slow. You need to block. If you were sparring and you were blocking,
you block way faster.
You would block a lot faster if somebody's trying to hit you. So why are you blocking like that? Why are you jumping like this? It's like exactly. You're not blocking anything with that. So I think that it is also like it is very similar. Like there's only so many ways you can throw a punch, or only so many ways that you can throw a kick. It's just finding the similarities in sparring Pumse has been something that I really love to do recently, especially recently. Once again, I had that sparring background, and then I moved into Pumse, and I feel like my success came from being able to, I know how to throw a punch, I know how to kick people, I know how to take a punch, and now when I translate that to not actually hitting something, I'm like, it's actually a lot easier when you don't have to hit someone. To get that same generate that same power and speed, it makes sense to have like that sparring training to help you with your Pumse.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I definitely believe in cross training the athletes as well, because with our team, a lot of our sparring team, they're quick on their feet, they have power, but their flexibility is their issue, And then sparring, but when you're at sparring practice, they don't really work on flexibility too much because they're all running drills.
Yeah,
they're running drills, they're doing conditioning. And I've noticed a lot of the students who train both in Pumse and sparring for competition, they excel a lot faster, or they move a lot quicker, or they understand the newer drills or whatever we're practicing, or they adapt a lot faster because they have the flexibility from Pumse and like the calmness of that. But they also Pumse sparring, they know how to like make the strong blocks and hit. Like it's cool to see how much they're so different, but they revolve kind of around. So they need each other to coexist.
We need each other. Yin and yang.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, yin and yang.
So that's why I love competitions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think with Taekwondo in general, like being able to have that switch in your brain of like, I need to throw a punch this way because I'm breaking a board, or I need to throw a punch this way because I need to have more power for my Pumse, or I need to throw a punch this way to get a point in my Karigi match. I think being able to switch from the different intentions is also such a skill. And then and you can bring that into the world, like, okay, I'm at this job, I need to be able to do this, but in the last minute, I need to switch and do this. Being able to have that elasticity with yourself of like, okay, I practice this way, but now I need to do it this way, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think being able to train yourself to be okay with that change in the moment is so powerful outside of the studio too. And I think, I don't know, that's also, I love competition, I love Taekwondo, but I love what it does for you outside of the studio.
Yes, and that's one of the main things I always talk about with people on podcasts, like how do you think it's helped you in your real life? Because obviously Taekwondo isn't something like you do and then you kind of, leave it there. Like it does affect you as a person, and it helps you build characteristics. It helps you carry yourself a certain way around, like you said, other jobs or even at school or projects in college, like the way you handle life.
Yeah.
Like, it really just affects a lot. So how do you think your life has changed since you started?
I think something that has really been a journey for me is like, I know every studio has their tenets of Taekwondo with maybe something like integrity or self-control or dominant spirit. And I think really practicing what you preach has been such a big journey for me, because I think coming in later in life or later in my age for Taekwondo, where I had to kind of understand what this etiquette was, and came in from like a kind of an adult and like, oh, like, you want me to do what? Like, you want me to say yes, sir? Like, are you sure that's not problematic, you know? And then coming in and being like, oh no, like, this is the culture, this is a way to show respect. And then also as an instructor, being able to say, hey, like, you need to do this, or you should be doing X, Y, and Z at home. Like, I need to do that too. Because I, also going back to my dad, love you, Dad. He was the kind of parent that he didn't really tell me what to do, but he showed what he did, and that inspired me to be like, oh, like, yeah, you know, I should be doing X, Y, and Z, because I learned from what he did and how he carried himself in his job. And I think I saw that in martial arts, where I was like, oh, like, people are saying one thing, but they're not doing it. And then I'm like, well, my dad is saying one thing, and he is doing this. So it was interesting to see like that how integrity and perseverance and indomitable spirit, like, we preach that as martial artists, but how many of us are actually living that? And I think something that I made my goal back when I was in college, I was like, if I'm gonna do Taekwondo, I want to make sure that I'm the same person on the mat that I am off the mat. And if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, because Taekwondo isn't magic. You can't improve if you don't put in the work. And I think that's also so special to martial arts. In soccer or others, I keep saying soccer, but in other World Cup, in other sports, you don't necessarily have to always put in the work if you're naturally gifted or if you like are in the right place at the right time. But martial arts and Taekwondo, that will only get you so far.
Yeah.
And the people that end up being the best are the people that put in the work, because it's not magic. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's those little things that you do every day. And something, and then taking that like step-by-step approach to your life is also important, because if you're not improving on the mat, it's probably because you're not doing something off the mat.
Yeah.
Right? You can come to class, but if you're not supporting that with the stuff that you do at home, like, then what are you doing? And I think something that really, I think that's really something that impacted my life is, if I say I'm going to do something, then I'm going to do it. And I feel like, especially in college, I went through a lot of trial and error of like, you know, you're meeting a lot of people in college, you're saying yes to a lot of things, and then it's like, I feel like I was such a flake. I was like, oh, like, yeah, I'll do X, Y, and Z, and like, I would take on too much stuff, and then I'd end up canceling or being like, you know, feeling like a bad friend or a bad employee or whatever, and then I was like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, would I do this on the mat? No. Like, if my coach tells me to do something, I'm going to do it. Or if I tell my master I'm going to do something, then I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to do push-ups. If I forget my belt, like, you know, whatever, like, I'm going to have to do push-ups or something. So how can I take that into my life? And I was like, okay, well, if I say I'm going to do something, then I'm going to do it. And if I don't think that I can do it, then just say that you can't do it. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, oh, I need to think about that, or let me check on that and get back to you. And I think that's what I learned from martial arts. It's okay to not have all the right answers, and to come back later and say, hey, can I get back and check on that and get back to you. Remix. And I think now I'm in a point in my career and my life where I feel like my integrity is like such a big part of my character. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I think in the martial arts community, there are some people that say they're going to do stuff and they don't do it.
Yeah.
And I can see some of my peers, some of my cohorts, like, sometimes I feel judged in a way where they're like, why are you doing, like when I do what I said I was going to do, they kind of look at me like, oh, like, you're making us look bad. Like, because I said something and I didn't do it, but you did, and now it's like, oh, like, ugh, like, you're such a goody two-shoes, or like, I was like, no, like, we tell these kids every day.
Yeah.
How can I sit here and tell my students and tell my parents that, you know, you should do X, Y, and Z if I'm not doing it? You know, I would never tell my students to do something that I wouldn't do, or I haven't done, or I don't already do.
Yeah.
Because how can they trust me if I don't do that too? So I think that integrity is really something that I learned from martial arts. And yeah, so
I love that. Taekwondo is definitely like a lead by example thing. Like
Absolutely.
That's one of my favorite things. Like obviously we love the martial arts and stuff, but the character building, the mindset it goes a long way. So like after I did Taekwondo from 7 to like 17 or 18, and then I graduated high school. I moved out of town, got a job and stuff, and then I couldn't take class. So I ended up taking like a 9-year break. And then I came back and my little sister wanted like an activity, and I was like, why not? Yeah. And then, you know, but I noticed like in the 9-year break I had, I could tell that something was missing from my life, and I just didn't realize that it was Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, because I had grown up with it, I was like, oh, like, I'm just going to go do my own thing and figure it out. And then I don't know, I was like looking for a hobby or this or that. And then, you know, I didn't feel like myself, really. Yeah. Like, it always felt like I was kind of missing something. Yeah. And then I went back and I was like, oh my God,
I'm home.
And then now I definitely realized, I'm like, I'm probably never going to stop this.
Well,
old jackets.
It's a lifestyle. Yeah. It really is. And I think we always joke like, oh, it's not just a sport, it's a lifestyle.
But it really is. Yeah.
Because how can you be a martial artist if you're not through and through, right? And I think that's something that also I've been coming to terms with. It's like, I'm an athlete. I am a martial artist. Like, this is my life. And that's like, you know, I'm not a fraud or an imposter. Like, I am a martial artist. I am an athlete. And, you know, this is my life. So
yeah. It takes a lot more than just some good kicks.
Yes. It's about how do you handle when life doesn't work out in your favor? Mm-hmm. How do you handle failure? How do you handle your friend winning something that you wanted?
Yeah.
Or how do you handle, you know, having to move to a different studio because something happened, or like because you're changing your life. It's like being able to connect with martial artists from other areas or other places or towns or countries is also so special because we all get it.
Yeah.
Like, even you and I, like, we can sit here, like, you know, this is our first time, like, really sitting down and talking, but it feels like we know each other because we have this understanding on the mat. So it's so much easier to kind of relate to each other and be like, oh, like, we get it.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it feels like we don't have anything to, like, I don't know, prove to somebody. It's like, oh, no, like, we get it because we have
the same trial.
Sweat and tears. It's like, your black belt is the same as my black belt.
Exactly.
And I think once you're a black belt, it's never going to go away, even if you've never practiced for, like, my sisters, or my stepsister, she's a first dan. She got her first dan, I think, when she was, like, 10.
Oh, wow.
She's, like, 20-something now. So she goes, I don't even know, like, I had a black belt. I'm like, no, you have a black belt.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that never goes away because we've all been through the same trials and tribulations. And it's, like, that feeling that you get of overcoming something that's hard, like, that stays with you for the rest of your life. Whether it was a pumse, or whether it was the sparring, or whether it was the board breaking, it might have been a different specific thing, but we all went through it. And we all had to, like, especially, I always call it the mid-belt crisis.
Oh, yeah.
Where everybody, when they're in that, like, halfway point, they're like, I need to quit. Like, is this really, like, I'm not learning anything. I'm not doing anything new. It's like, everybody goes through that. But this is the moment where you choose, are you going to push through and get what you set out to do? Or are you going to give up? And let's be real, like, sometimes with other things, like maybe a different sport or maybe a goal, like something in college or something with your job, like, it's okay to change your mind. I definitely think that is always okay. Like, you can say that you're going to do something and work towards it and be like, actually, this isn't really what I thought it was. This isn't what I wanted. I want to do something else, and change your mind. But with martial arts, specifically Taekwondo, it forces you to really, like, push through that the uncomfortable moments and, like, oh, I want to quit because it is hard. But if you push through that, then that's going to change your life. And I feel like the biggest advice that I give to the parents is, like, don't let them quit Taekwondo. If they don't like you know, their instrument, or they don't like their foreign language, like, sure, you know, like, don't push them to do something that they don't want to do, but don't let them quit. Don't let them quit martial arts, because that's going to make them a better person. That's going to make them a stronger person. Like, I think it's a fine line between forcing your kid to do something and, you know, listening to what they want. But with martial arts, and I guess I'm taking language learning back. Martial arts and learning that second language, that's lifelong. And it is hard. That's why people don't do martial arts. That's why people don't learn a second language. But if you can push through that that feeling of uncomfort, like, you're gonna be better for it in those specific aspects. So I think that's also, like if you can do that, then that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. So.
Yeah, I've never met a black belt who regretted that they had their black belt.
I've met a lot of people that regret they didn't get a black belt.
Absolutely, I've met so many people that like, oh, when I told them I do Taekwondo, they're like, yeah, I think I'm like an orange belt, or I
wish I didn't quit. I wish I could go back.
Really, when you get to that point, it's only a couple years to get your black belt, and then you're a black belt for life.
Yes.
Like certified by PB1 for life.
Yep.
I've never met anyone say, yeah, I wanted to quit. I wish my mom made me quit.
No, nobody ever says that.
Once you get there, like you may stop after black belt. You're like, okay,
and
I get it.
That's the way. Get your black belt. Get your black belt. If you're already in it, just get it. Get like you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. Finish the journey, and start where you finish.
Yeah.
You know, and then after that, you can decide. But I think if you start martial arts, you owe it to yourself to get that black belt.
Yeah.
Push yourself, rise to the challenge, and then you're only going to be better for it. So.
And I also think too, once you get to black belt, you know enough about the martial art to decide if it's something you want to continue to do.
Exactly.
Before you get that black belt, you don't really know enough about it to be like, I don't like this.
Yes.
And you may not like the workouts you're doing, or you may not like the time that it takes away from you doing something else, but the martial art itself, like you don't know enough about it to make that judgment yet, especially at kids when they're at such a young age.
Exactly.
Like my sister right now, she's her Puma, and she didn't go through like getting burnt out at Orange Belt. She's getting burnt out now.
Yes,
and
because it's that final stretch. You're not really doing anything new.
For her first on in December.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, you got so
close. Just do
right
it.
There.
You're so close.
Come to class.
Yes, just come to class. Just put in the work. Put in the time.
Like you're right there, and then after that, you know enough about it to make your own decision. She's like 11. I'm like, you're kind of old enough right now to figure it out. And the good thing is you can always come back because you're already a black belt.
Because nobody can take it away from you. Once you have that black belt, nobody can take it away.
Because if you start and you say like,
oh, I'm a red belt or I'm a poom, they can
stop for years and then
put you back.
Go to another studio.
They can put you
or
back.
A studio. They'll start you over at a white belt, depending on how much you remember, how much you know. Like,
or if their curriculum is different, which it probably is. So
or
it's like
how much it's grown. Yeah, exactly. So get the black belt. From there, it's in your hands.
Exactly. And I think a big part, I guess I'd say specifically about Taekwondo and that like pushing through being uncomfortable is you're choosing to be uncomfortable, right? Like you signed up for this, you're paying for this, you're showing up to class, you're choosing, you know it's going to be hard and you're choosing to do it anyway. That prepares you for all the times in your life that you're going to experience not being able to choose. Like maybe there's somebody that dies or like some accident that happens, something catastrophic that might happen in your life that you're not going to be able to choose.
Yeah.
But you're going to be able to say, hey, I can do this because I've done hard things before. I've pushed through by choice. So I know how to push through when I don't have a choice.
Exactly.
And that's really what martial arts gives you. Because it gives you that perseverance and that confidence in yourself to say, I can do this because I've done it before. Mm-hmm. Like how many times I'm sure you've met people in your life or like you've met people in your life where they get to college or they get, everything always worked out great for them. And isn't that nice?
Yeah.
But then they get to college and all of a sudden like they're met with hardship or they're met with something that doesn't go their way and they freak out.
Yeah. And they don't know how to handle it.
They don't know how to handle it. Maybe everything crumbles. Maybe they fall into despair and it's life altering. Where if you have the tools of like, okay, I can handle whatever life throws at me because I've done it before by choice, it just sets you up for success. Like, how can you not be successful? Mm-hmm. So I think, I don't know. And I think Taekwondo is definitely an intellectual sport too. Like, I think everybody, most of the people that I met through Taekwondo, if not all, like, they all have a good head on their shoulders. Mm-hmm. They are going places. They are very intellectual in some sort of way. And I think that comes from the trials and tribulations on the mat. Because you're forcing yourself to be put in situations that you might not ever experience in your life. And if you can do it by choice, you can do it when it's not your choice. So I think that's also such a big, big thing that Taekwondo can give to you. So
no, it's awesome. It's like, it may sound cheesy, but like Taekwondo has 5 tenets, you know?
Yeah.
Courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and dawn spirit. And it can be applied to everything in life. And
everything.
We say it in class and stuff, and I think so obviously like the students are just like, okay, whatever, it's just the things we have to remember. And I'm like, no, when you're an adult, it'll click.
Yeah, you'll have a moment where
totally
you're like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
They were right.
They were right. Yeah, I think some of the most satisfying moments as an instructor are when like maybe when the students make their black belt essays or whatever, or they come to you after they graduated high school and they go to college and they come back and they're like, oh my gosh, Master Thalia, like, you'll never guess what happened. This happened to me and I remembered what you said, or I remembered like courtesy and integrity, and then like this changed something for me because of Taekwondo. I'm like,
that's awesome. That's what it's supposed to do.
That's what it's all about. I'm so happy for you. And it's like, I think the greatest gift you can give yourself is martial arts, specifically Taekwondo.
Yes.
Because the structure, like, I also joke that Taekwondo is a gateway martial art. It gives you the foundation, the etiquette, the strength, the mental strength, and the mind-body connection to handle any other sort of martial art. Because of the structure, the history of Taekwondo and the structure that it has. Like, we have the belt system. You have a goal that you're working to. It's standardized in as much as a martial art could be standardized, yes. Right? Whereas something that might be a little bit newer, like MMA or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's like still being thought out, and like there's not really necessarily a direct path that's universal, and the purpose is different. Right? Like the purpose of going to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class is to, you want to roll, you want to maybe go to a competition, or you're trying to like specifically learn something for something, something else, something for something. But with Taekwondo, you're going there to learn about yourself. You go there to match your mind and your body. Whereas when you're rolling around or doing MMA or doing Krav, you're going there for self-defense. You're going there for combat. You're going there for like pro or whatever amateur league. You're not going there to learn about yourself, most of the time at least. But when you're doing Taekwondo, you have to learn about yourself because it's you and the mat. When your instructor tells you, oh gosh, we're going to do knuckle push-ups, you're in your brain telling yourself what? And you're trying to combat that mental voice, that voice inside of your head that's saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do this. And you have to say, yes, I can. And that's the journey. You have to be okay with yourself. Mm-hmm. And then if you can do that, you can do anything.
You can do anything.
It's like you can do anything, and that's why I really feel like it's gateway. It'll get you hooked.
Absolutely.
It'll get you hooked, and then all of a sudden,
I mean, look at us. We're here.
Look at us
for the rest of our life.
Look at us. Yeah. So I think I don't know. It's just that's really what that's something that's just so special about Taekwondo, and you can do that at any age. I think actually one of the students here, Mr. Mark, he's over 60. Okay. He was a Olympic powerlifter.
Oh, wow.
So he's super strong. He's got like this experienced competition on this world stage, like doing powerlifting and bodybuilding. And then he came here and started doing Taekwondo, and he's just like experiencing a whole new world of fitness and mental stimulation.
That's awesome.
And it's so cool. He's like, over here we practice Taekwondo, Iljang, Ijang, Samjang. And he's like, there's just so much with front kick and double push. I'm like, yes, sir. And it's so cool to see him get excited. And he's a green belt. And a green belt at 60. I'm sorry, Mr. Mark, I can't remember how old you are, but you're young at heart. And it's just so cool to see. Like, I've been working with him for a few months now, and when he started, his kicks, like his front kicks were like very choppy, like very low. Now he's kicking above his belt. It's clean. His pivots are sharp. He's so balanced. And I'm like, wow, like anybody can change.
Yeah.
It's that combating of the inner self monologue, and you can do it. And I think that's just, it's just so special as an instructor to see all of the students grow, especially the adults, because they're the most common population that thinks they can't do it.
Exactly.
And they can. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I feel like starting martial arts as an adult, starting Taekwondo as an adult is easier because it, like, a lot of the stuff that we do is physical therapy. Like, especially with Poomsae training, especially now with the new age of Taekwondo training, it's more about body mechanics. It's making sure that you're strong, your squats, like you have strong quads, you have strong chest, you have strong back, you have strong core. If you have that, then you can do anything, right? Mm-hmm. And most of the time adults, they might not have been working out a lot, or they might not be in the gym all the time, but when they come to Taekwondo, they can slowly get back into a good shape. And then they realize, oh wow, like all this stuff is a lot easier now that I have good core muscles, or my back is strong. Now my legs don't hurt as much, or my back pain went away. Yeah. One of my students back in New York, I'll never forget, we were doing like all the band drills, all the like resistance band training in class. Yeah. And I remember she had sciatica, and one day, like, it was flaring up. She was like, I have to go to the doctor. They're starting me on PT. I have my first PT this week, so I'm not going to go to class. I saw her the next week, and she comes in, storms in, and she looks like she looks angry. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, are you okay? And she goes, you. And I go, me? She goes, you have my doctor's phone number? Are you talking to him? I'm like, no, I don't even know who your doctor is. And she's like getting upset at me. She goes, why is it that you sit here and you torture me with those bands and those exercises, and then I go to my physical therapist and he's doing the same thing? Like, did you talk to him? I'm like, no, there's just a lot of overlap. We need strong knees and ankles and hips. I'm sorry, ma'am. She goes, well, I guess I have PT and Taekwondo to thank for my sciatica. I'm like, okay, you're
That's
welcome.
So funny.
But I was just like, wow, like, that really made me realize, I'm like, oh, a lot of the stuff that we do is rehabilitation, because we need strong knees, strong ankles, strong wrists, all the joints that normally end up hurting us in our old age. That's what we work to strengthen, because how can you kick without any of that? So
exactly.
I always laugh. I'm like, hey, you need PT,
just come on
to class, because we basically balance, single leg balance, right? Like, oh gosh, it's so, like, if you want to have a better life, start Taekwondo. Really.
Yeah. And I think that's also like a common misconception too. Everyone thinks like, oh, you come here and we're just like kicking all the time. We're just doing martial arts. Like, I started doing Pilates about like a year and a half ago, and I used the reformer. So we have the strap. Yeah. There's one exercise where we lay down, put the strap on our foot, and we're literally doing side kicks.
Yes.
We started this and I was like, my leg hurts. Why am I doing this? But they're like weighted. I'm like, no, we're doing weighted side kicks.
Yes, it's like, oh, I've seen this before.
I know this torture.
Yes.
It's just prettier. Oh, yes, like a nice machine.
Yes. And it's pink.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny. Like, Taekwondo comes in like different forms. And I think, like you said, it is one of those martial arts that's not just about the combat. There's so many other things to it that you could benefit from, especially adults, kids.
Everybody.
And that's why I love it. It's a family thing too. Like, obviously most studios have this setup where like you'll have the kids class and then adult classes last at night, you know? And then I take adult class at night because my little sister takes the class before me. Yeah. So families do it. You bring your kid to 6 o'clock and then you take the 7 o'clock class and you guys both worked out the day. You're good. I just think it's so easy and accessible that I think more people should be doing it.
Absolutely. Right now, I have an adult class, and it started as an adult class, and then I had some of the moms and some of the dads starting to take the class, and then now their kids are 14, 15, so they're in the adult class too, because it's teen and adult. So it's now like a family class in a way. So awesome. I have 3 sets of mother-daughter in that class.
Oh, I love
and
that.
It's just so stinking cool. Yeah. I'm like, wow, like, you guys get to kick with each other, and it's like, you get to have this bond. And I think especially for moms and daughters, there can be a lot going on, especially in the teenage years. And I think giving them this opportunity to work as a team and kind of be like on the mother-daughter team against the instructor in a way. It's like, you're making us do all this stuff. It's like a healthy outlet for each other. And it's like, you guys get to kind of like, oh man, Master Thalia is going to torture us today. But we got, like, you get to have like this united front, you know?
And then you put aside, you guys are at home.
Yes. So I think it's really, I don't know, I think it's just such a cool, I don't know, there's just so much benefit from doing Taekwondo. And I wish more people would give it a try and understand that it's not like, yes, it's combat, yes, it's kicking, but it's so much more than that. And just give it a try. You might like it. So you might like it.
I'm trying to get my mom to take classes.
Just do it.
She will not.
Do it.
She's been watching me do it.
When's your birthday?
It's next month.
Happy birthday.
That's what I'm saying. And then she's been watching my sister, and she knows all the forms. I was like, you know all the stuff.
Yes.
She like tells me how to fix my kick when I'm up there. And she's like, oh, you didn't do this. And I'm like, why don't you just get your black belt? Get your black belt and have like an official opinion, because right now it technically doesn't count, Mom.
My favorite thing that has happened is like, I'll have parents that are really hard on their kids, right? Because they want what's best for them. They're sitting there every day and they're like, why are you not bending your knees? Like, just do the block. Why is it so hard? It's not that hard. And then they'll try class. And then all of a sudden they're quiet. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because it is harder than it looks. Like, if you do Taekwondo well, it looks easy.
Yes.
And then people are like, oh, that's so easy. It's like, yeah. Do you know how hard I'm working? Like, if you look at some of these top athletes, like we were talking about, like, they kick, it looks effortless. it looks effortless, but the amount of effort that they have to put in, and then also make it look like, oh yeah, I'm not even trying. Like, that's so hard. It's so hard. And then when the parents are like, yeah, I'll do class, and then they do it, and they go,
I'm good.
I'm like, oh, you're gonna join back? They're like, no, I'm good. And then they're like, wow, good job, Danny. Like, you did it. Like, you know, good job. Like, you worked really hard today. And it's like, wow, like, it kind of almost like make that parent-child relationship stronger because they get it. Yeah. They understand that, oh, it is a lot harder than it looks. So, but also, I don't know. I also had parents where they join because of their kids, and then their kids end up like getting their black belt, maybe taking a break, but then the parents in it forever. Oh, wow. Which I think is so cool because it's like, wow, like you started because of your kids, and now you're here, and your kids aren't. Like, that's awesome. So I just think it's so cool. So
that's awesome. No, I just love that Taekwondo has so much to it, and I think a lot of people too think that like it stops at black belt. Like, there's just so much you could do after that.
Yes, period.
So, and like also now today, Taekwondo is a little bit more exposed with like social media, technology, and obviously it's getting a lot more cleaned up. Like back in the day, choreo didn't look like today's choreo, you know? But I think it's because we have access to everybody all around the world and like, hey, we're doing this, we're fixing this, it's supposed to be like this, and it's just constantly evolving due to technology and social media. And I think because you're really active on social media as master also. Yeah. Can you talk about that for a little bit? Like, what do you think is like the next step in social media for Taekwondo? Like, what do you think, or what do you want to see on social media? Because I'm slowly seeing more coaches, more athletes kind of like, oh, like come with me to practice today. I love those.
Yes,
like, if you're a Taekwondo athlete and you post that on YouTube, I watch it.
I love a day in the life.
Yes, it's put it on in the background. I want to watch it right now. So like, what do you want to see? Where do you think it's going?
I think just exposure is super important, right? A lot of people don't really understand what Taekwondo is, and I think with YouTube and with Instagram and TikTok, like it gives the opportunity for people to really understand like what do we do in practice? What does Taekwondo really, like, what does that mean? And I think personally, I started a YouTube channel and I do some vlogs and I post on Instagram and TikTok, but I feel like I was so against that for so long because I work with kids. I don't want to put them on the internet. I also was very private. Like, I don't want people to know so much about my life because also, like, I'm a woman and I'm a single woman in the world and I care about my safety. You know, you have to. And so I feel like social media was very much like, oh man, I have to be careful for the longest time. Because I also feel like growing up, I don't know, people really scared. Like, beware of the internet. Don't talk to strangers online. Like, don't post where you live and like don't post where you go. And I feel like I definitely was very like scarred for a long time. Like, I'm not going to do any of that. And then when I started really working more with the kids, I see that they're online all the time. And I see the stuff that they watch. And some of the stuff, like, it looks like it's innocuous, but some of the stuff that they watch and they have access to the same internet that we do. Mm-hmm. And some of the stuff out there is not good for them. And it's like, you know, it's making them, you know, depressed, or it's making like, it's giving them bad ideas, or like it can be very toxic, or it can be very uplifting. Mm-hmm. And I felt like a push to start doing more social media because of them. I was like, if they're going to watch, like, I already know that they like me or they like, you know, my jokes or whatever. So let me put that online so that way it gives them something good to look at, I guess. And like, you know, being raw and real with them online so that they know like I am just like them and and that I get the struggles that they go through. And it's like, you know, I'm a person just like you, even though I am a master, even though I am your instructor. I think that it's cool to be able to share my struggles and my journey with my students. And I feel like that's really why I even started posting, was just for my kids and my students. And then now I'm like, oh, like people are coming up to me at tournaments, they're like, oh, I follow you. I'm like, oh, like that's so cool. Like, it's cool to be able to have that connection with people that I haven't met, and that people message me and they're like, oh wow, I'm so glad that you're doing this. Like, you've inspired me to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, that's so cool. It's cool to be able to be, especially a woman in martial arts, especially a master in martial arts. I think that it's so important to be able to put myself out there so that way other women and other girls can be like, oh yeah, I can do this. And hopefully you do it better than me. You know, like I think that to be a role model to other people is just so special, and I don't take that lightly. And if that means that I'm gonna post on YouTube what my get ready with me is for a tournament, or how I pack my lunchbox, then like I'll do it, because I think it gives other people that opportunity to say, oh, like this is something that I could do too. Mm-hmm. And I think something that I'm also pretty passionate about is like the power of choice. Right now we have so much choice in the world where we can choose to do whatever we want. And I think that some kids might not understand that you can really do anything you set your mind to. And I feel like putting myself out there shows them like, oh, like I can do that too, or I can put myself out there, I can make mistakes, I can change my mind. And I feel like showing them that through social media can be helpful and can be positive. And, I just want to give that out there to them. So yeah, I think that's my take on social media. But I also think social media can be pretty toxic and you can get caught up in it. And I think something that really helps me is I have a social media manager, and he helps me with some of my posting because I am an athlete. I do work, but having that team, I guess, behind me helps me post and put my life online, but also gives me the time to make sure that I'm doing what I want to do, like with my training and focus on competition. Because when I go to competition, I want to say hi to all my friends and all my fans or whatever. I don't even know. I don't have fans, but like, I want to talk to people. I want to network. I want to, inspire people around me. But I also need to make sure that I'm focused on my competition, that I need to compete first and like chill and hang out and like be friendly afterwards. And I think also posting on social media helps the people around me understand like, oh no, I'm not giving you the cold shoulder. I'm focused on locking in so I can get my points, do what I need to do. And then afterwards I can have fun and like hang out and make silly videos and all that stuff. But I really started posting. I post a lot of like instructional stuff too. Something that I'm passionate about is instructor training and like just staff training in general, whether it's for Taekwondo or not. I think it's important to give people the tools that they need to be successful. And if they have a handbook and then they decide not to do anything with it, then that's on them. But at least I can give them something to help them, right? Yeah. So I started posting on social media for that. Like I was doing instructional follow-along videos for the instructors and then also for the students. So that way, maybe it was a little selfish because sometimes after class, you have a million people coming up to you. Can you show me this? Can you show me that? It's like, here's the YouTube video. Yeah. I made it for you. I made it for you so you can practice at home. And then giving them that supplemental stuff helps them practice when they're at home, because you can say, oh, practice, but what does that look like? How can they really understand what they need to do? Some kids, some athletes, they're very like self-motivated. But let's be real, it's hard to be self-motivating. And also that's what we're teaching. Yeah. We're teaching you how to motivate yourself. And sometimes that means like you have to take them, like hold their hand and take them through it so that way they know what it looks like so they can make it for themselves. And I think that's why I also started my videos and everything. And then it turned into, okay, like let's make this public instead of just private. Because everything that I had, I was making videos for a few years, but it was all like private stuff. It was all like unlisted and like specifically like sent to people. And now I'm like, okay, let me open it up and, put myself out there, whatever, for better and for worse, to show people that they can do it too. So yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, that's all I have. Do you have any other questions or anything you want to add before we close it out?
I don't know. I just wanted to say thanks. Thank you for reaching out to me. I think something that's so important is like the girls in martial arts, like to really uplift each other and to, take a chance and like send a message. I think we can get in our heads of like, oh, this person is like, should I reach out? Should I put myself out there and ask them to hang out or ask for an interview or ask for something? I think just do it. Like, especially if, like for the other girls, like just do it. Because I think a lot of times we get so in our head about like, oh, what if it doesn't work? What if? But like, what if it does? Yeah. And I think like take the opportunity, especially like, especially the women in martial arts, we have to stick together. We have to like uplift each other and make sure that we're there for each other. And I think, answer that message, send that message, try it, if they say no, then whatever, at least you tried. But what if they say yes? Absolutely. So I think, I just wanted to say thanks. Thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for asking me to do this. It was wonderful to get to actually know you and like sit and talk with you. And I hope that we can connect again. And yeah, so.
Absolutely. No, sending that message was awesome. I was kind of like a little nervous. We talked to competitions like casually, but it's the, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, we're going up next? Okay, cool. And then we get back to like helping other people. And then I started seeing your videos on, I don't know, our phones are listening to us. Because then I started seeing all of your stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Now she likes being on social media. And I was like, well, I just started this podcast. Maybe she'll be down and do that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send the message.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
And then you were so receptive to it. You're like, absolutely. Yeah. And then we had the competition in the area. It made sense. Yeah. Thanks for coming on. I super appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
This was awesome. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.